MRP, Material Requirements Planning, is both a technique, like it's something to practice and you get certain answers, and it's also an information system. That means that anytime you work an MRP problem or you do an MRP analysis, you are essentially setting up an information system. You can see that by looking at the inputs that are provided in this particular scenario. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, here in this scenario, we are given, do you notice this on the note frame, 3 different pieces of information? First off, the subject is the environmental response game. This across the top, we've seen it before. If you've reviewed any of the other scenarios leading up to this, this is the bill of materials. Oh, okay. Now wait a minute. This was in a scenario before. This is how you assemble the environmental response game. What is this in the center? The production management of Main House Gaming has detailed material requirements plan to support the following master production schedule. That's this actually right here. You say, oh, all right. And then we have current inventory records. Wait, I haven't determined a thing. Why am I drawing all over the scenario? But I'm not calculating a thing. I'm just trying to highlight the fact that it's not necessarily Main House Gaming or the ERG game. In material requirements planning, material requirements planning requires 3 inputs. You always have to begin with 3 things. The bill of materials, top of this page, the master production schedule, and the current inventory records. Because what are these? The bill of materials tells you how you build what you build. The master production schedule tells you basically how much do you want to build and by when do you want to achieve this. And the current inventory records tell you, okay, well, do you have any of this stuff right now? And if you don't, how long is it going to be before you can get some more? We need these 3 things, and if you were to set up an MRP system on a computer, it would need to tie into, these would be 3 information feeds. You're saying, yeah, okay, fine, but I don't have a computer system here to do MRP, right? What is it I'm supposed to do here? What else is MRP? Now, it did say the statement in the middle of the scenario, the production manager needs a detailed material requirements plan. Okay, we're going to start with these 3 things. This is reiterated if you have the note frame on the next page. How many of these items should be ordered and when should they be ordered in order to fulfill the master production schedule? Oh, and then there's all these blank tables. Oh, right. Because what is another way to describe MRP? MRP is essentially a set of linked records. Linked records. You say, okay, what are they records of? They're records that correspond to each one of the items. What are the links? Oh, well, that's essentially what's drawn in the bill of materials. Okay, so what do I need to do? You need to fill out that set of linked records. Now, what we've got here is just some blank records, but then that's kind of handy so we don't have to draw all the rows and all the columns, because we need 1 record dedicated to each item in the bill of materials. For this particular problem that we're working on, there's 11 items involved in the planning of an environmental response game. Okay, that means we need 11 records. In order to create a material requirements plan, you could think about it, I mean, really loosely speaking, as a set of steps. The first step, if I just squeeze it in up here, step 1, get set up. Okay, step 1 can be a lot of work, just the setup, because we need to set up 1 record for each one of these items. And all of this information, all of it that we were given, has a home somewhere. We need to find that home, and organize this information into the correct positions, all during just getting set up. All right, now to begin, the identities. There's going to be one record for each one of these items. Might as well go ahead and dedicate these empty records. For instance, the finished good here is ERG001. That is the actual finished environmental response board game. Okay, that is the finished good. Finished goods are level 0 items. So I'm just going to go ahead and note that over here for convenience. There, I've dedicated a record to it. Great. Now I'm also going to, just to kind of stay organized, you don't have to do this, but this is the only thing that's on level 0. So I might as well kind of like put it in a little zone all by itself, because the next 3 items that I see on the bill of materials, they are all on level 1. I am looking, you say, where are you looking? I'm looking here. I dedicated a record to that one, but then there are these 3 items on level 1. Dedicate records to them. Okay, well that would be GNRL06. That was one of them, right? What was another one? ERG 101, and then ERG 102. Great. I have a record for that one, and for that one. And that finished up level 1. Okay. That finished up level 1, although it didn't finish up all the records on this page. So, on this page anyway, we can squeeze in one of the items that's on the next level, or level 2. So who's going to be all by themselves here on level 2? Let's see. Okay, ERG201. ERG201. Good enough. That has a record. But each one of those items needs a record. Oh, right. That's why there's a whole nother page of records that prints out with this note frame. Because here we go. Now we've got enough for, who's this? ERG 202, ERG 203. ERG 203. And then, okay, that one has a record. This one has a record. Oh, standard paper item. PAPR01. That's a standard box. And ERG 204. Okay. These are all also on level 2. This part over here is not like necessarily standard or required, but I just find it helpful for keeping track of where are we. Because there's like 2 leftover records on this page, and that works out really well because there are 2 other items here. They're on level 3. Let's dedicate records to them. Level 3. One of them is standard paper item PAPR25, and the other one is ERG 301. Okay. Another way to think of this step that we're in, where I said get set up, is enter everything that you know. Our goal really here is to take this front sheet with all the input information and to use it completely. And you can see that we've used the top part and that we've labeled all the records. If you look down though at the second half of the sheet, there's a whole lot of information here. This information all needs to be organized into its proper location on those records. Oh, all right, like for instance, notice that this right here across the top of our inventory records is that finished good, ERG001. and I'm told some interesting information about it. I mean, not just its description. Yeah, that's the finished good. But it says the lead time's 1 day. There isn't any on-hand inventory right now, and the lot size is LFL, or lot for lot. All of that has a home here. The lead time is 1 day. The lot size is lot for lot. Any certain amount I want is exactly the amount I can have. And wait a minute, this fact that there aren't any of this in stock right now belongs right here on the available balance line, but to the left of, this is basically the planning space in here, that's where that goes. So I just used those 3 pieces of information. Now I keep going, right? Here are the 3 items that were on level 1. Okay. Let's see. For GNRL 06, that's the dice. Ooh, really long lead time, 7 days. Lot size, 500. That means we need to order in multiples of 500. It probably means, since these are dice, that whoever we buy them from, they come in boxes of 500. But anyway, oh, on-hand inventory, 244. We actually have a bunch. Good, enter that. Now, ERG 101, the lead time is 1 day. I'm just entering information that we know. That's also lot for lot. And there isn't any in inventory right now. ERG 102, there's none in inventory right now. There's a longer lead time if you want some, 2 days, but that one is also lot for lot. Just entering stuff I know. ERG 201, 5 days lead time. Lot size of 20. We've got 50 in stock right now. Okay. Now, ERG 202. Oh, 4 days of lead time. Lot for lot, 50 in stock. ERG 203, lot size is 40. Lead time is 3 days. There is, oh, also 50 in stock. Standard paper item 01. 5-day lead time. There's 100 as a lot size. And there's, okay, the standard paper item, there's 203 it says in stock. Let's see, ERG 204, 3-day lead time it says. There's a lot size of 30, must come in batches of 30, and there are 50 of these in stock right now. Okay, that's good. And then finally, standard paper item 25, 3-day lead time. Lot size of 30. Okay, there's 60 in stock right now. And then finally, ERG 301, 3 days of lead time. There's 20 in, or the lot size is 20, excuse me. The lot size is 20 because there's 60 in stock. All right, phew. Now, wait a minute. Okay, there. You know what I just did? I just used all of that. Okay, so step 1, enter everything you know. Everything that you're given at the beginning, there's a role for it or there's a place for it just in setup. We're actually not done with step 1 yet. You can spend a lot of time in step 1 because there's one last set of information that in this initial input sheet we were given, but we have not used yet. Notice that we used the bill of materials, and what I just went through is I entered all this information from the current inventory records. We skipped this. The master production schedule. We skipped that. No, we got to go back to that. We've got to use that. We have got to enter that, and that's really actually what gets us started on the planning process. This is the setup process, okay? This is the turning point. This information is what gets us going. You say, well, okay, but what am I supposed to do with it? Because there's only one thing on the master production schedule that's mentioned, and that's that finished good, ERG 001, and there's a couple orders. Basically, this is when we want to ship these amounts. What do I do with this? Enter into the top line of that item's record. That's what you do with these numbers. Once we do that, we will finally be set up, because this 50 on the 4th day, we want to ship out 50 of these games. This 50 on the 4th day goes here, the top line, the gross requirements of ERG 101. Same thing, this 60 here and 70 here. Days 9 and 10, 60, copy carefully, then 70. And then finally, this 75 right here is transferred to right here, day 14 of that item's record. There, finally, we're done getting set up. What's the next step in material requirements planning? When you're sure you're all set up, go fill out the records on the top level. I could even write that. 2, fill out records on top level. You say top level. Yes, level 0. Level 0 is always the top level. Fill out records, plural. There's only one record on level 0. Fine. Fill out that record. That's the next step. Okay. Oh, all right. Fill it out. Okay, ERG 001. We don't have any of this in stock. This is everything now that's going on because we've entered all the information that we know. All right, well, nothing's going on for the first 3 days, so that means that we'll just continue to have none in stock. We need to ship out 50 on the 4th day. Okay, well, I noticed that the lot sizing policy is lot for lot. That means that any amount I need, that's the amount that I can have. Great. I'm going to plan to receive, planned order receipts, 50 on that day. So zip, out it goes. Now, that means I'll still have nothing in stock. And actually, the nice thing about lot for lot is it's super easy to plan for. Anything that you need, that's exactly what you can schedule as long as you don't have any inventory. And once you don't have any inventory, just zeros all the way across, you're not gonna accumulate any inventory with lot for lot. Oh, all right, so you said you just copied the gross requirements into the planned order receipt line. Yeah, if you don't have any inventory in the lot for lot policy, that's exactly what you do. Okay, now wait. To fill out the records, you have to fill out the last line. And actually, it's all about the last line. Because we now know that we need to receive 50 on the 4th day. Check the lead time. Well, it's going to be 1 day before you get it. Fine. Drop down to the bottom line. Planned order release. Order 50 on the 3rd day so that 50 arrives on the 4th day. Same thing here. We need the 60 to be finished and ready on the 9th day, 1 day lead time, order the 60 on the 8th day, followed by that order for 70 on the 9th day so that it's ready on the 10th day. And same thing over here. This is called time phasing. And this is really what we wanted to know. It is how much we should order and when we should order it. Just like what was asked here of the actual finished game. Okay, say, all right, fine. I filled out the record on the next level. What now? Step 3. Step 3 in MRP. If you filled out all the records on that level, pass the bottom line of the parent to the top line of the child's records. You say, huh? Parent-child? Yes, remember parent-child? The links. These records are actually linked. I mean, I know they don't look like it. There's no lines drawn between the records in this note frame, but these also represent the records, and these are the links. Now, we just filled out this record. Now we're calling it the parent. Who are the children? Well, you follow the links down until you hit something, and then you don't go any further. We say that ERG001, that particular item, the finished unit of sale, has 3 children, GNRL06, ERG102, and ERG101. Oh, all right. So what do we do now? The bottom line of the parent is passed into the top line of the child's record. Oh, actually, multiplied by the number of child items required to assemble one parent. The only time in this particular scenario we have to remember this is for actually the next item, the dice. Because GNRL06 is dice. You need 2 die cubes for each finished game. You're throwing 2 cubes into the game before you close the box. Okay, which means that this 50, the bottom line of the parent, is passed into the top line of the child's record. This is the only case in which we do need to remember to double that number. Because if you need 50 finished games, then you had better have 150 times 2 die cubes ready to go. Let's see, 60 here doubles to 120. 70 pairs of dice is actually 140 cubes. And then that's 75 doubles to 150. The bottom line of the parent goes into the top line of the child's record, multiplied by the number of child items required to assemble one parent. This is the only time you have to remember that. Everything else here is 1-to-1. Which just means bottom line of the parent straight into the top line of the child's record. This is also a child, let's see, 50, 60, 70, 75. There, did it. Because that's the only parent. These are the 3 children. That step 3 that I scrawled, well, I've gone ahead and done it. You say, why are we doing this? Has to do with the 1-day lead time on ERG 101. ERG 101 is the finished good, right? And we're making arrangements for that finished good. When you place a request for the finished good, it's 1-day lead time until the order is ready to go, provided that the children are in stock. MRP is always assuming that when you make the request for something, any child items that are required to build it are already in stock. So if we request that 50 finished games be assembled, we need to make sure that 100 dice are ready to go at that moment that we make the request, because they're going to go into assembly. We also need 100 packed, or excuse me, not 100. We need 50 packed inserts. That's the ERG 101, and we need 50 finished branded game boxes to put all this stuff in. That's ERG 102. They need to be ready to go, ready to be consumed. That's the top line of the record, right, when the request is made for the parent. That's the bottom line of the parent's record. Oh, right, anyway. So, but I'm just explaining why we're going to do that. We've already done that. What do we do now? Go to next level and repeat. And you say, well, wait a minute. What do you mean by repeat? Go to next level. Yeah, we were on level 0. Now we're on level 1. Repeat. Yes, fill out these records. Fill out these records, then pass parent to child, and then keep repeating. Well, anyway, whoa. Fill out these records. Okay, well, let's look at this. We have 244 dice in stock, and nothing's going on for these first 2 days. That just means we're going to carry those 244. We are going to use up 100 of them on the 3rd day, though. They're going to head to final assembly. So that means 244 minus 100. I'm just figuring out what we're going to knock our stock down to, ending inventory. Well, 144 is what will be left over. Fine, 144, 144, 144, and we can use that up on day 8 because we need 120. So that knocks it down to what, 24? And we'll have those 24 going into day 9. Now day 9 we need 140. So you're probably thinking, okay, fine. You need 140 dice and you've got 24. So that means that you need another 100 and was that 16? Right? Don't write down 116. Don't write down 116 under planned order releases. It's true, that's how much you need. Before you write anything under planned order releases, check the lot sizing policy. Because look at the dice. They come in lots of 500. We only need 116. We're going to schedule to receive 500 though. They come in boxes of 500 apparently. We're going to need another box, so another 500 will arrive. That'll keep us covered basically. Oh, okay. Well then, what's that leave us with? I did that and I got, okay, 384. Yeah, we'll have 384 left at the end of the day 9. And we'll keep that 384 for a while. Although we'll use some of it on day 13 because we need another 150. So that's going to knock inventory down to 254. And that's what we'll end this particular planning horizon with. Oh, okay. Now, we need to receive this box of 500 on day 9. To finish the record, check the lead time. 7 days. Yeah, all right. So drop down to the bottom line and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Note to self, order 500 dice on day 2. If day 1 is tomorrow, then the day after tomorrow we need to put in another order for 500 dice so that they get there in time to support the assembly of a finished good. Anyway, filled out that record. ERG 101, fill out this record. We don't have any. Okay. And oh, another nice one, it's lot for lot. Anything I want, that's exactly what I can have delivered. And since there's no inventory, there's not gonna be any inventory. This is easy, it's just 0 all the way across. To finish it off, okay, that's lead time is 1 day. That means that I need to actually order each one of these amounts 1 day earlier. Ta-da! That one's finished. ERG 102, ooh, really similar. Nothing in stock and it's lot for lot, so anything I want, that is exactly what I can have. And I'm not going to run up any inventory. And to finish it out, oh, just be careful, the lead time here is 2 days. So to receive 50 here, I want to order 50 tomorrow, day 1. And the same thing here, phase these forward by 2 days. That's when we want to order them. Oh good, that one's done. So we have filled out all the records on the next level. We filled out all the records on the next level, and this is just a repeating cycle. You're actually done with your plan when you have filled out all the records that you created during setup. We've only filled out all the records on level 1. So now we say, okay, who on level 1 is a parent? Because now it's time to pass the bottom line of the parent down to the top line of the child's record, remembering to multiply by the number of child items required to make one parent if you need to, but everything from here on out is 1 to 1. For this problem. So we just need to go back to the bill of materials and find, okay, these 3 records that we just did, who are they linked to? All right, well, the dice are linked to no one. There's no child items. Okay, so we're not passing that 500 anywhere. But ERG 101 has 3 children, ERG 201, ERG 202, and ERG 203. That means, I need to be careful, ERG 101, this pattern of numbers needs to be passed to the top line of those child records. This 50 on the second day goes here. This 60 on the 7th day goes here. The 70, and then the 75 on day 12 goes here, because this is one of the children, ERG 201. And then ERG 202 and 203 are on the next page, but it's the same pattern that gets passed to them. They have essentially the same links. They are linked to the same record up above: 50, 60, 70, 75. Okay, so we took care of that, and that. Now on level 1, we're not done passing parents numbers down to children, because ERG 102 is also a parent. It is a parent of PAPR 01 and ERG 204. So we've got to, first off, locate the proper parent pattern. ERG 102, this is the actual box itself. These numbers, now notice they're similar, but the timings are not the same. These numbers get passed to, for instance, PAPR 01. That's one of the children. 50. The 60 is on day 7. The 70 is on day 8. Oh, excuse me, the 60 is on day 6. The 70 is on day 7. Excuse me. Oh, now I have an ugly smudgy spot. The 75 is on day 11. Let's just double check I'm doing that right. The 50 is on day 1, the 60 is on day 6, the 70 is on day 7, and the 75 is on day 11. 1, 6, 7, and 11. And then the same thing for ERG 204. 50, the 60 is on day 6, the 70 is on day 7, and the 75 is on day 11. Okay, that means that this parent was passed down to that child and to that child. So we have passed down all of the numbers across parent-child relationships that are linked to level 1 anyway. Now what do? Go to the next level and fill out the records. The next level is now level 2. The records that are waiting there to be filled out are the records actually that we were just passing numbers to. Yeah, okay. It's time to finish them out. For instance, in the case of ERG 201, you have 50 in stock. Nothing's going on the first day, so you'll still have 50 in stock. Then you need 50, are going to use up 50 on the second day, so the only thing that does is it just wipes out your stock. It wipes out your stock. Now going into the 7th day, you're going to need 60. You're going to need 60, check the lot size. Comes in boxes of 20 apparently, or batches of 20. That's great because 60 is a multiple of 20, so that's just what we'll arrange to receive. Now, the next day you'll need 70. We have to order in multiples of 20. That's the lot sizing policy, so that does leave a little left over. So we have these 10 left over that we start day 12 with. We need 75, so we're a total of 65 short. We have to order in multiples of 20. So ironically, we'll just go ahead and order 80. What's that do? It bumps our inventory up a little bit. Okay, now this is when we want to receive these numbers. Check the lead time. The lead time's 5 days. So this 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, needs to be ordered on the second day. This 80, the day after that, the third day, and this 80 right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That 80 needs to be ordered on the 7th day. Okay. Yay. That record's done. That record's done, so at least this whole first sheet is done. These 4 records here, though, are still waiting for us. Same logic, though. ERG 202, we have 50 in stock. Nothing going on the first day, so we still have 50 in stock. Oh, very kind of deja vu, like I've seen this before. Then we use up 50 on the second day, so we don't have any in stock. We don't have any in stock then for a while. And oh, I like this. I noticed that ERG 202 is lot for lot. I've wiped out the stock, so anything I need is exactly what I can have, and I won't run up any more inventory. Now to finish it out, the lead time here is 4 days. So there's 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. Better order it on the 3rd day so that it's in time, and then followed by the 70 after that. This 75, 1, 2, 3, 4, needs to be ordered on the 8th day. Yay, that one's done. ERG 203, there's also 50 in stock, and we use that up on the 2nd day. Okay, so we don't have any in stock going into the 7th day, of which we need 60, but here there is a lot sizing policy. We have to order in multiples of 40, so that means we're gonna need to receive 80, 2 lots of 40. We'll have 20 left over. We'll have 20 left over, and the 8th day we need 70, so we're only short 50, but that means it needs to be another order of 80. Okay, so that actually increased our inventory, didn't it? Because 20 plus 80 is 100, minus 70 is 30. And we'll carry that 30 for a while. Now we're going to use it up here. Going into the 12th day, we need 75. We have 30 in stock. We're 45 short. The lot size is 40. So the only way to cover that is with another order for 80, a multiple of 40, which means that we've just increased on hand stock a bit to 35. Now this is when we want to receive these. The lead time is 3 days. 1, 2, 3. Here is when we need to order them. 1, 2, 3. Then paper stock, 01 here, there's 203 in stock, and that's good because for this standard paper item we need 50 immediately, which just means it's going to knock the stock down on hand. We have what, 153 left over, which will carry for a while. 153, 153, 153, and we're going to start consuming here because we need 60, or we'll use up 60 on the 6th day. So what's that do? Knock it down to 93, and then we'll consume 70 the next day, so that knocks it down to 23. So we've got 23 in stock going into the 11th day when we need 75. All right, so we're not that short. We're only like 42 short. Check the lot size though. This stock item comes in batches of 100. All right, the only way to cover that then is just to get another batch in. So we will plan to receive 100, which means then at that point, we're going to have a substantial amount of that in inventory. 23 plus 100 minus the 75. I get 48 left over. Yep, and so that's what we'll leave this problem with, 48 of that in stock. So we just have this one order for 100, but when do we place it? The lead time is 5 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Need to order that stock item on day 6. And ERG 204. ERG 204, you have 50 in stock, and that's a good thing because you're going to use it up immediately. You're going to use it up immediately. You're not carrying anything then going into the 6th day when you need 60. Check the lot size. That's 30. Oh, good. That's a multiple of 60, so we can arrange to get 60 delivered. But the next day we need 70, so we're going to have to arrange to have 90 delivered, or 3 boxes of 30. Okay, so that gave us a little extra in inventory, 20, 20. So we have 20 in inventory going into the 11th day. We need 75. We're what, 55 short, so we'd better arrange to receive 60. We'd better arrange to receive 60. So that means that we have what, 5 left over? Yes, 5 left over. Okay, now this is when we need to receive them. The lead time is 3 days. 1, 2, 3. This is when we need to order them. Let's see this 60 right here. 1, 2, 3. Right there. Oh, excuse me, that's a 90. There we go. Oh, okay. Now, wait a minute. I see my highlighter line. My highlighter line is telling me that we're done with this level. We're done with this level, so unless we are finished with all levels, it is time to pass the bottom line of the parent down to the top line of the child's record. Okay, is anybody a parent here? Yes, we have two last items, and they are children of what we were just working on. In particular, it is ERG 202. ERG 202. ERG 202. ERG 202. Oh, wait a minute. ERG 202 is at the top of this page. That's handy even. ERG 202. The bottom line of the parent's record, there's a 60, a 70, and a 75. Go into the top line of the child's record. That 60 is under day 3. The 70 is under day 4. And that 75 on the bottom line of the parent's record is under day 8. Those numbers go into the top line of the child's record. Okay, well then that's all the parent-child passing of numbers there are. Well, time to fill out all the records on the next level. Okay, well, this stock paper item, we have 60 in stock. That's great, because we'll just use that up on day 3. We then need 70 the next day. We have a lot size of 30, so we'd better schedule to receive 90, a multiple of 30. That leaves us with what, 20 in stock? We have 20 in stock then. Once again, deja vu, we have 20 in stock. We need 75. We're 55 short. So what's that going to be? An order for 60, which will leave us with 5 in inventory. Now, this 90 and this 60 right here, when do we actually have to place the order? 90. 1, 2, 3. Oh, immediately. Day 1. And this 60, 1, 2, 3, day 5. Then ERG 301, you have 60 in stock, 60, 60. Oh, also wiped out on the 3rd day. You have 70 that you need on the 4th day. Here the lot size is 20. I've got to order in multiples of 20, which means I can order 80, and I'm only have 10 excess units. Then I have these 10 units. I need 75. I'm 65 short. And I've got to order in multiples of 20, which means it's just going to be another 80. And that will leave me with 15 items in inventory at the end of the horizon. Okay, this is when I need to receive them. 3 days, order 80 immediately, followed by 80 on the 5th day. There, that record's done. Oh, man. And at the point that that record's done, all the records are filled out, which actually at that point, you are finished. If you were commissioned to create a material requirements plan for main house gaming, that's it. You did that through those records. Now you might be looking at all of these computations and thinking, oh, that's great, but what have we actually done? Well, you know what? Might be helpful to summarize. If you have the note frame, there's this blank table. Now, we're not going to do, there's no more computation. We're not going to do anything new here, so to speak. But what is this blank table inviting you to do? What is it that I kept highlighting every time we finished a record? I kept celebrating the planned order releases. The point of all this computation was to come up with those bottom lines. That's actually the plan in MRP. This is nothing more than an invitation to roll all that information up, all those bottom lines, across one table in order to make one recommendation. Now, here are the 11 items listed. One of them was on level 0. The next 3 were on level 1. Most of the rest of them were on level 2, except the bottom 2 were on level 3. Oh, okay. Now, wait. Going all the way back to where we started, ERG 101, what is it that we actually determined that I highlighted here? You need to order 50 of those games on day 3. You need to order 60 on day 8. You need to order 70 on day 9. And you need to order 75 on day 13. But wait, there's more. Because also GNR L06 was the one that had like that odd order for 500 on day 2. You would want to definitely feature that in your plan. Now, going on, just read the records. We discovered, for instance, for ERG 101, that we need to order 50 on the 2nd day, and 60 on the 7th day, and 70 on the 8th day, and 75 on the 12th day. For ERG 102, we discovered you need to order 50 immediately. You need to order 60 on the 6th day, 70 on the 7th day, and 75 on the 11th day. For PAPR 01, the standard paper item, there was only one order. It was for 100 on the 6th day. So you would specify that here. For ERG 201, you need to order 60 on the 2nd day, 80 the day after that, and then another 80 on the 7th day. For ERG 202, you need to order 60 on the 3rd day, 70 on the day after that, and then 75 on day 8. For ERG 203, you need to order 80 on the 4th day, 80 on the 5th day, and 80 on the 9th day. For ERG 204, you need to order 60 on the 3rd day, 90 on the 4th day, and 60 on the 8th day. For standard paper item 25, order immediately, order 90, then follow with an order of 60 on the 5th day. And for ERG 304, order 80 immediately, and then follow that with an order for 80 also on the 5th day. Okay, now the only thing that I did there is I was reading off our bottom lines of each one of the records. This is the actual plan. This was the whole point of the records. Now, I say, order this, order that. Why? Why would you want to do that? The reason is to successfully ship 50 ERG units on day 4, followed by 60 on day 9, 70 on day 10, and 75 on day 14. That's why. Now, you say, what? Wait a minute. Where did that come from? That brings us all the way back to the beginning. Why would you place those orders for exactly those items on those days? That is the amount and the timing that is needed to, now where did I get these? The 50, day 4, the 70, the 60, day 75? We've come full circle. Do this in order to, right there, fulfill the master production schedule.